In this question, it says a figure composed of a right cone and a right cylinder with dimensions in feet is shown. What is the exact surface area in square feet of the figure? So we need to think about the cone and the cylinder. And when we're doing surface area, if we put them together, the bottom of the cone is covered up by the top of the cylinder. So we are not going to include the bottom of the cone or the top of the cylinder when we figure out this surface area. Anytime you see surface area or volume, you want to make sure you check your reference sheet for the formulas you need. So we have a cylinder. We're going to use this surface area formula here. So I'm going to write that down first. So we're going to write cylinder says surface area is 2b plus pH. Okay, and then we have a cone, and for a cone it says surface area is b plus pi RL. So we just said we are not going to be using the bottom of the cone. The bottom of the cone is the base. So we are not going to use the base. We are only going to use this part from the cone. And for our cylinder, we said we're not using the top. Okay? In this formula, it says 2B because there's two bases in a cylinder. We don't want the top one. We only want the bottom one. So we're going to take off this 2 and it's just going to be one base. So we're going to use this part of our formula for the cylinder. Okay, so some important things we need to think about here. If we want to look at the cylinder, our base is a circle. So we need to do pi r squared for our base. Our radius here is 1.5, so we're going to plug in 1.5 for our radius. When we do that, we get 2.25 pi. Now, it's really important that we see that it says exact here. Because it says exact, I want to leave pi in my answer. I do not want to touch the pi button on my calculator. Okay. Next, we need to do P. P for a circle is perimeter of the base. Perimeter of a circle is the same as circumference, and this is on your reference sheet too. It is 2 pi r. So 2 pi times 1.5 gives me 3 pi. Okay. The h for the cylinder is the 3. For the cone, I need pi, r, and l. This out here, this slant height, is our L. So now I have all of my pieces that I need to plug into these formulas. So for my cylinder, I needed B plus pH. And for my cone, I needed pi r L. So B was 2.25 pi. P was 3 pi. Our height was 3. And then we have pi 1.5 times 2.5. So we have to do our order of operations and figure out all of our values. Here we're going to have to multiply the 1.5 times the 2.5. We get 3.75 pi. And now since they all have pi's, we combine our like terms and add the 2.5, the 9, and the 3.75, and we get 15 pi. Okay, this would be our final answer. This is our exact answer. Okay, if it had said to round, we do not want to round until we get to the very end, and then at this point, this is where we would hit times pi on our calculator and round to whatever directions they gave us. Okay, but this is super important that if it says exact, you leave your answers in terms of pi.